Hello, everyone, and I am so excited to be here today. It's, totally unplanned of when I was actually going to be able to connect with you, but I didn't want to miss it. It's Thursday. I'm Tennille Hoogland, the creator of Athletes Thriving in Perimenopause and Beyond, the Facebook group. And in this group, honestly, what happens is I ask a lot of questions. I hope what we do together is that it probes. I probe. I want to ask questions, get people thinking, get people really present into their experience of how do I be athletic? How do I be an athlete in perimenopause and beyond? And we go beyond just how do you train to looking at mindset, the nutrition, training, and recovery. And today I came on and I was, the whole week we've been asking questions about change and perspective. And what is it that you really, where are you at? What is it that you need? And what is come true is I wanted to just identify with this idea of change, because here we are in perimenopause, some of us in the beyond, and there's a lot of change happening. There's not just change happening in our body, there's change happening in the world. There's constant change. And yet, so that is the certainty. If there's going to be something certain that you're going to come into, it's that change is always occurring. Some of us go, darn, I really like where I'm at right now. I'd like to stay here. But I want you to think about this idea of you look at your spouse. And you look at somebody, a good friend, and you're just looking at them and you're like, is that the person I knew? Do I know that person? We try to say, yeah, but I really know what she's like. I really know what what they'll respond to. We make assumptions about how somebody will respond to something, how somebody will be in a situation, how somebody will come to you. And it is really difficult sometimes to eliminate that expectation of how the thing will go, how the conversation will go, how the workout will go. And so we are here and you think you know somebody, or you think you know what that experience is going to be like. And I want to say, think again. When you think back to yourself, I want you to think, are you the person who you once were? If you look back into your past, you can say, most likely, there are elements of myself that are the same, but man, no, I've changed a lot. Why? Because I've grown. Why? Because I've gained wisdom. Why? Because I've done hard things. Why? Because I've been in challenge. Those are the things that will always come up from our past. And so we get to be somebody else. But when is that change actually occurring? It's a little bit of a when is change actually happening? And we can say, well, all the time, but I want to get more specific. Change is happening and occurs in action. The actions we actually take. Before that is before we actually take the action is simply the possibility that we're going to respond to it, right? So here we are, and we're going to take an action. It is the words we say that matter. It is the physicality of the things we do, how we come into a training session, the deep breath, fueling, all those components that enable us to do the things that we love. Those are all actions. Now, what is created is the change. Every time you lift heavy, you're creating change in your body. You're releasing cortisol. You're doing things that are enabling you to be stronger, to reduce stress, to create connection with people, to create intimacy with people in the words that we use. So we now know that change happens in our actions. I want you to think now of the possibility of where we're going, of what we want. And I think that this is what I want to say to really come to a point. It's like, what's the point? So how I call it, like, what's the point of even talking about this? Is that I want to encourage you to always continue being curious about yourself and not make assumptions about what you already know of who you are. Because you just said, well, you didn't really just say, but you just thought, yeah, I'm a different person than I was. And every time, and this is incredible freedom, this is where the freedom comes. Every time you take action, every time you use your words, we have the possibility to change, to create change, and to be in change. And no matter what has happened in the past, this is so beautiful. This is, I hope this frees you, is whatever is back there is back there. And now when we come into, how do I want to be athlete? How do I want to be athletic? It is in this moment, it is in this one where we start to move forward and take that first step. I'm going to lace up my shoes. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to lift a slightly heavier weight than I did. I'm going to feel that vibration of my heart pumping harder and believing that my body is strong enough to hold it. I'm going to fuel. I'm going to, this is the change. We come up against stress willingly. We don't expect to know how somebody is going to react. Just like we don't expect to know how our body will respond. We're in the possibility of the response. What does this come all to? Why do I want to really make us aware of this idea of change and where we are? Because it's a perspective shift. It's a perspective shift of trying to do the same thing. You'll never do the same thing. How I say something, how I am as coach is different than how somebody else is as coach. We all bring our own genius. We all bring our own spirit. We all bring our own beauty that creates this mosaic. And so bring in the curiosity. Eliminate the expectations or the thinking that you know. Because as soon as you know, you've done that person or yourself a disservice. And that's harsh, what I'm saying. You've done them a disservice because they don't get to live up to, and you don't get to live up to the possibility of change. It's a quick one. It's a beautiful one. I hope that this has been just a little dose of something, a perspective shift, a new idea. Go out there into the world of curiosity, be the athletic self, know you're full of possibility, go and do hard things, and I'll catch you really soon.